It started like a normal afternoon. A 38-year-old office worker suddenly dropped his coffee cup. His right hand had gone numb. He stood up to check what was happening, but stumbled. His coworkers thought he was just dizzy from skipping lunch. No one called for help. By the time the ambulance arrived, the damage was done. The stroke had affected a large part of his brain. Months of rehab followed, but he never fully recovered. This kind of story is more common than people think. And what's worse, it could have been prevented, or at least made much less severe. Stroke doesn't always start with a dramatic collapse. In many cases, it begins with subtle warning signs: tingling, slurred speech, sudden vision changes. These signs can appear hours before the stroke actually hits. That's why this video is so important. If you or someone around you can spot these early signs, you can act fast. You can save brain cells. You can save a life. In this video, we'll walk you through 6 early warning signs of stroke that you should never ignore. They are based on clear medical research and real-life cases. Because when it comes to stroke, every minute counts. Your brain is losing about 2 million cells per minute during a stroke. So ask yourself this: if you had known the warning signs a few hours earlier, how different could the outcome have been? Let's get started. Stroke is a medical emergency that happens when blood flow to a part of the brain is interrupted. This prevents oxygen and nutrients from reaching brain cells, and within minutes, those cells begin to die. There are 2 main types of stroke. The first and most common is an ischemic stroke. It happens when a blood clot or blockage stops blood from reaching parts of the brain. This type accounts for about 87% of all strokes. The second type is a hemorrhagic stroke. This occurs when a blood vessel in the brain bursts, causing bleeding into or around the brain tissue. Though less common, it tends to be more severe and harder to treat. No matter the type, both lead to brain damage if not treated quickly. And that's the key: quick treatment. Every minute lost means more brain tissue at risk. Here's the good news: up to 80% of strokes can be prevented if risk factors are managed and warning signs are not ignored. So what puts someone at risk? Age. Risk increases after age 55. High blood pressure, diabetes, smoking, high cholesterol, family history of stroke, lack of physical activity, unhealthy diet, heavy alcohol use. These are all major contributors. But stroke doesn't just affect the elderly. More and more young adults are now suffering strokes, many with lifestyle-related risk factors. So why do early signs get missed? Because they often don't seem serious. A slight weakness in the arm, slurred words for a few seconds, vision that blurs and then clears up. These might be brushed off as stress or tiredness. But the truth is, these signs could be the brain's only warning before a stroke hits. Waiting to see if it passes could cost someone their memory, their mobility, or their life. Understanding what stroke really is, and how urgent it can become, is the first step to protecting yourself and your loved ones. Let's now explore the specific warning signs. Sign number 1: numbness or weakness on one side of the body. One of the most common early warning signs of a stroke is sudden numbness or weakness, especially on one side of the body, often in the arm, leg, or face. You may feel a loss of strength in one arm. It might be difficult to grip objects, hold a cup, or raise the arm evenly. Some people say it feels like their limb is asleep, heavy, or just not responding like usual. A simple test can help. Raise both arms in front of you and keep them there for 10 seconds. If one arm drifts downward or feels weaker, it could be a sign of a stroke. This happens because a stroke can affect the motor cortex of the brain, the area responsible for controlling movement. The brain's left side controls the right side of the body, and vice versa. So if the stroke happens on one side of the brain, the opposite side of the body might show weakness or numbness. This kind of symptom often comes on suddenly. It's not like muscle soreness or fatigue after exercise. It's a clear, noticeable change in your body's ability to move or feel. And it's not something to wait and see. Time is critical. If you or someone around you suddenly experiences weakness in the arm, leg, or face on one side, call emergency services immediately. Don't try to sleep it off. Don't wait to see if it goes away. Even if the feeling comes and goes, it still requires urgent medical attention. Some strokes are caused by temporary blockages called TIAs, transient ischemic attacks, which can be warning signs of a major stroke to come. The bottom line: sudden weakness or numbness on one side of the body should never be ignored. The faster you act, the more brain function can be saved. Let's move on to the next warning sign. Sign number 2: drooping mouth or uneven face. Another key warning sign of a stroke is sudden facial drooping or an uneven smile, often affecting just one side of the face. This happens when the muscles on one side of the face suddenly lose strength. You might notice that one side of the mouth sags, the cheek looks flat, or the eyelid droops slightly. Sometimes it's subtle, other times it's obvious. A quick and simple test is to ask the person to smile. If one side doesn't move, or the smile is noticeably uneven, it could be a sign of a stroke. This kind of facial change usually results from a stroke affecting the facial nerve pathways in the brain. These nerves control the muscles used for facial expression. If the stroke damages the area that controls one side, that side of the face can't move properly. This symptom can appear alone or together with other signs like arm weakness or speech problems. The important thing is, don't ignore it, even if it lasts only a few seconds or comes and goes. Some people wait, hoping it's just fatigue or stress. But strokes don't wait, and minutes matter. If you or someone near you suddenly shows an uneven face, especially during a smile, call emergency services immediately. Even if the person says they feel fine, or insists they're okay, don't take risks. It's better to act fast and be wrong than to wait and regret it. Quick action can save brain cells and prevent permanent damage. In many cases, early treatment can restore function before it's lost for good. Facial drooping is one of the 3 key signs in the FAST method for spotting strokes. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, time to call for help. Let's continue with the third warning sign. Sign number 3: slurred speech, confusion, or word repetition. Another serious early warning sign of stroke is sudden difficulty speaking. This doesn't just mean forgetting a word or stumbling over a sentence. It can include slurred speech, mumbling, repeating the same word over and over, or speaking in broken or nonsensical sentences. For example, you might hear someone say something like, go store, cat, what? Or they might try to speak but can't get any clear words out at all. This happens when the stroke affects the brain's language centers, typically in the left hemisphere. These areas control both speech production and understanding. When oxygen supply is interrupted, communication breaks down almost instantly. You can use a simple test. Ask the person to say a short sentence, like, "Today is a sunny day." If the sentence is slurred, jumbled, or they can't complete it, this is a red flag. In everyday life, this could happen suddenly while talking at dinner, on the phone, or during a conversation. Many people brush it off, thinking the person is tired or stressed. But strokes don't wait. Even temporary speech issues could be a sign that a major event is happening inside the brain. Don't delay. If someone is struggling to speak clearly or seems confused in their words, call emergency services immediately. Some people may be aware of the problem, others may not notice anything is wrong. Either way, time is critical. Speech problems are the third key sign in the FAST method to recognize stroke. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, time to call for help. Quick action can lead to quicker treatment and better outcomes. The longer the brain goes without oxygen, the higher the chance of permanent damage. In the next section, we'll explore another common but often ignored symptom. Sign number 4: sudden vision loss or double vision. Sudden vision problems, especially in one eye, can be an early sign of stroke that is often overlooked. It may appear as blurred vision, loss of part or all of your vision in one eye, or seeing double. Some people describe it as a gray curtain coming down over their field of vision. This change may last only a few minutes and then seem to improve, which makes it easy to ignore. But this is not just eye strain, fatigue, or a temporary blood pressure drop. It could be a transient ischemic attack, TIA, a mini-stroke, where blood flow to the back of the brain or behind the eye is reduced or briefly interrupted. This area of the brain controls vision, and any disruption can affect how we see the world. Many people confuse this with more common issues like migraine or vertigo, or dizziness from low blood sugar. But when it happens suddenly, especially in someone with risk factors like high blood pressure, diabetes, smoking, or heart disease, it must be taken seriously. If you or someone you know experiences sudden loss of vision in one eye, double vision or split images, trouble focusing or seeing straight, do not wait and see if it gets better. Call emergency services immediately. The damage caused by reduced blood flow can become permanent if not treated quickly. In some cases, this is the first and only symptom before a full stroke happens. You can perform a quick check. Close one eye at a time and compare vision. If one side is blurry, dark, or has a missing spot, especially if it came on suddenly, seek medical help right away. Vision is controlled by the occipital lobe at the back of the brain. When a clot or blockage affects the arteries leading there, vision changes can happen instantly. Recognizing these signs early could save your sight and your life. In the next section, we'll cover another silent but dangerous signal your body may send. Sign number 5: sudden, severe headache like never before. A sudden, intense headache that feels unlike any you've had before should never be ignored. This type of pain is often described as the worst headache of my life, or a thunderclap headache, one that strikes without warning and reaches peak intensity in seconds. Unlike common tension headaches or migraines, this pain doesn't build up gradually. It hits fast and hard, and may be felt anywhere in the head. What makes it especially dangerous is that it could signal a brain hemorrhage, bleeding inside the brain caused by a ruptured blood vessel. When blood leaks into brain tissue, it creates pressure and damages cells almost immediately. That's why time is critical. If not treated quickly, it can lead to coma or death. Other symptoms may follow: nausea or vomiting, blurred or double vision, confusion or difficulty speaking, neck stiffness or loss of balance, seizures or loss of consciousness. People often dismiss this kind of headache, thinking it's just a bad migraine or stress. But if the pain is sudden, sharp, and different from usual headaches, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms, call emergency services immediately. One quick check. If someone says, "This headache is different, I've never felt pain like this," don't wait. Even if they look okay on the outside, something serious could be happening inside their brain. This symptom is more common in hemorrhagic strokes, which account for about 15% of all strokes but cause a large proportion of stroke-related deaths. The bleeding often occurs due to uncontrolled high blood pressure or a ruptured aneurysm. Don't take the risk of waiting to see if it goes away. Early medical treatment can stop the bleeding, relieve pressure, and prevent permanent brain damage. In the next section, we'll look at one more warning sign that often slips under the radar. Sign number 6: loss of balance, dizziness, or unsteady walking. Losing your balance, feeling dizzy, or walking unsteadily can seem like minor issues, especially if you've been tired, dehydrated, or just stood up too fast. But when these symptoms come on suddenly and without a clear reason, they can be early signs of a stroke. One common description is a spinning sensation, as if the room is moving around you. This isn't the usual dizziness from standing too quickly. It can be severe enough to make it hard to walk straight or even stand without falling. This type of symptom often points to a stroke affecting the cerebellum or brainstem, two areas that control coordination, balance, and basic movement. A stroke in these regions can disrupt the brain's ability to communicate with the body, leading to trouble standing or walking, leaning to one side, poor coordination, unexpected falls, nausea, vomiting, or blurred vision. The cerebellum helps coordinate voluntary movement. When it's affected by a stroke, even basic tasks like walking or holding a cup of water can become difficult. The brainstem, on the other hand, controls more automatic functions like eye movement, breathing, and balance. A stroke here can cause multiple symptoms at once. It's important not to confuse this kind of dizziness with common causes like inner ear problems or low blood sugar. The key difference is sudden onset and the inability to maintain balance. A quick test: ask the person to stand up, walk in a straight line, or touch their finger to their nose. If they sway, stumble, or miss their target, that's a warning sign. If these symptoms appear alongside others, like slurred speech, facial drooping, or numbness in the limbs, call emergency services right away. But even if dizziness is the only symptom, don't ignore it. A stroke in the cerebellum or brainstem can be just as dangerous as one in the main part of the brain. Early attention can prevent permanent disability, or save a life. Many people believe that strokes only happen to the elderly or those with chronic illnesses. But that's a dangerous myth. Stroke doesn't always follow the rules we expect. Younger adults, even those who appear healthy, can and do experience strokes. In fact, recent studies have shown an increase in stroke cases among people under 50. Why? Because being young or feeling fine isn't a guarantee that your brain is safe. Here's the truth: stroke is not just about age, it's about risk factors, and many of them are invisible in daily life. These include chronic stress, poor sleep habits, high blood pressure, even if undiagnosed, sitting for long hours, smoking or vaping, use of certain medications, undetected heart rhythm problems, You don't have to be sick to be at risk. Many professionals, especially those with demanding office jobs, carry these risks without knowing it. Long hours in front of a screen, skipped meals, high pressure, and lack of exercise quietly build up over time. That's why early recognition of symptoms is crucial. The faster you act, the better the chance of recovery. Don't wait for age to give you permission to take stroke seriously. Know the signs. Pay attention to your body. Speak up if something feels off. Strokes can happen to anyone, but with the right awareness, you can act before it's too late. When it comes to stroke, every second counts. The faster you act, the better the outcome. There's a simple way to remember the most critical signs, the FAST rule. F. Face. Ask the person to smile. Is one side of the face drooping? Arms. Ask them to raise both arms. Does one arm drift downward or feel weak? S. Speech. Ask them to say a simple sentence. Is their speech slurred or hard to understand? T. Time. If you notice any of these signs, call emergency services immediately. Time lost is brain lost. This easy-to-remember method can save lives. Strokes can come on suddenly, and symptoms might seem minor at first, but even a small delay can lead to serious brain damage. Never wait to see if it goes away. Don't try to drive the person to the hospital yourself. Call emergency medical services right away. Paramedics are trained to begin treatment as soon as they arrive and can communicate with hospitals to prepare in advance. Acting quickly means better chances of survival, less brain injury, and faster recovery. Remember, FAST isn't just a checklist, it's a call to action. Be ready, be aware, and don't hesitate, because in the case of stroke, seconds matter. You've just learned 6 early signs of stroke. Each one could mean the difference between life and death. One timely decision can save a lifetime, not just for yourself, but for someone you love. Stroke doesn't wait, but awareness can change everything. If this video helped you recognize these signs, please give it a like so more people can learn too. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to stay updated with more life-saving health tips. Share this video with your family, friends, and anyone who might need to see it. It could save their life. And finally, leave a comment if you or someone you know has ever experienced a stroke warning sign. Your story could help others stay alert. Together, we can raise awareness and maybe save someone's future.